Gloria. All right, stream's working. Welcome back. Welcome back. Feels good. Took a little break, but I'm definitely happy to be back. What's up, Critic? What's up, Cosmo? Yeah, Cosmo was actually talking to one of the guys earlier today, and this is like a Draftkings show, like a more of a DFS catered show, but I find a lot of people in here are just from season long. They just kind of want to see what's going on with matchups tonight and maybe what players they can play. Because assuming most of us have quite a few bench spots, but what's up, guys? Lion, a channel. How y'all doing? I actually got to set this hat trick sheet up a little bit. I'll do that right now while some people roll in. Pretty exciting night tonight, actually. There's some good spots. I did quite a bit of digging before the stream, so Matt Grzelcyk is back. We think he's in the lineup tonight, him and Krejci. That's some pretty big news, actually, for the Grzelcyk owners. I don't know if anyone's been holding him, but if Dustin Brown doesn't have a point tonight, should I drop him for Boquist? Nope, I think Dustin Brown's an own. They're actually in a really good spot tonight, and I'll get to that with LA. But should I drop Miro Heiskanen? Like, it's so hard to say. Dylan, like, who would you pick up instead of Heiskanen? I just think Heiskanen, like, he's a guy that can just turn it on. I watched that Dallas game last night. I was actually going to tweet out some of his plays. He looked so good yesterday. But I think he's a hold. I don't know. I think Dallas needs to, like, give him more of a role in that team. Like, he should be quarterbacking that top power play. I get Klimberg's good, but I don't know. I would hold Heiskanen. There will be a new video out tonight, guys. Just took a few days off. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work doing this every day. But, I mean, it's definitely a passion of mine, so going to continue to do it. It's just nice to have some days off and want to go see the girlfriend, so good couple days off. Freddie and Matthews is back tonight. Yeah, I saw Matthews should be back. I didn't make a note of it, but I know Freddie is starting tonight from what I saw. Is it crazy to trade Ovechkin for a starting goalie like Anderson and Lindholm? Yeah, that's crazy. Don't make that trade at all. Keep Ovechkin. Yeah, I know they do give everything to Klingberg. Klingberg was good. Like, he had like a 70-point season if I can remember properly, like 60, 70-point season. But I just think I think Heiskanen's going to be like their 3 to 5 year plan, right? So I feel like you kind of got to get him going sooner rather than later. But I mean, I'm obviously not in the NHL. I'm not a coach or a development coach, so my say only means so much. Is Freddie returning soon? Yeah, Freddie's back tonight from what I saw on Twitter. Start Backstrom or Tavares? Tavares for me. I think Washington's in a terrible spot tonight, and I'll get to that. But Backstrom is in a better spot than Ovechkin and Kuznetsov tonight, that's for sure. We'll let some more people roll in here. How did everyone do last week in fantasy? Any players that, like, performed really well for you guys, or anyone that kind of underperformed? I actually lost my week. It was so tight. The guy had a couple, like 2 or 3 really favorable stream starts for his goaltending. Like, my goaltending had like a 187 goals against average and a 940 save percentage, and I lost on both categories. It was crazy. What 2 goalies do I play tonight? I have Grubauer, Smith, and Anderson. Grubauer and Anderson for me. Grubauer is a must start every night, even if they lost. Yeah, Dylan, I read that Garland is back tonight. I have it in my notes down here. Garland is available to play. So, Zib and point for Patty Kane. Yeah, you can do that trade. Who would you pick up for, like, the open roster spot, Kim? Or do you have someone coming off of IR that you can fill in? Finished 11th in the forecheck on Monday, 14th last night. Finally getting some positive results. Yeah, I've been starting to step my game up a little bit in DraftKings. I took some time off because it's really time consuming when you MME. Like, I've been doing I usually do 150 lineups, but it's really time consuming. So I kind of had to find that balance between like, producing content for the channel, streaming, being active in the Discord. So I did take some time off, but I think I'm going to get back into it a little bit more now that I have some more free time. Definitely more motivated after taking a few days off. Grubauer and Hart killing me so far this week. Yeah, man. Can't believe Grubauer. Provorov has been terrible. Yeah, Provorov's a really good real-life defenseman, but not a good fantasy defenseman. Larkin has been terrible again, man. I don't know what to do with Larkin. I'm holding him. Like, his shot volume's so high, but, man, it does not look good there in Detroit. I thought Mantha, him, and Bertuzzi were going to be so good this year. Deborah and Vasi went off for me. I'm assuming that's DeBrincat. Yeah, Vasi's been great. What's up, Matt? What's going on, man? Grzelcyk worth a pickup? Yeah, man. If he's still on the top power play unit, Grzelcyk's a must-own, guys. Like, especially if you're in, like, leagues that prioritize points, like, you have to have Grzelcyk on your roster. I've been trying to not punt D-man. It's been working. Yeah, Mike, I usually keep my lower priced defense pool, like, pretty tight. Like, it's usually about 3 or 4 players. But it's really worthwhile if you can to take 2 value stacks and then pay up on D. And I mentioned that in my DraftKings strategy video, like, you should be paying up for D. Like, if you can get to Yossi or to Dougie Hamilton, Burns, like guys like that with really high floors and pretty high ceilings, it's definitely worth it to get there. It's hard to win a lineup when you have like Brett Kulak at 2,500 that you're banking on him getting 10 points, which is really unlikely to happen. So what's up with Svech? Yeah, I think Svech will turn it around. It's not like he's having a bad season. Like, I feel like everyone's like all over this Carolina team and how they've been, Aho's been bad. I've heard a lot about that. And Svechnikov, I think they're both fine and really competent players. Taylor Hall, man, I don't know what to do with Taylor Hall, but I'm holding Buffalo. I'm holding Eichel. They looked really good last night, Buffalo, actually. I'm not sure if any of you guys watched the game. I know a lot of you guys in the Discord watch the stream or watch the game because every time Zib gets a point, the whole Discord freaks out. You guys can see my Zib jersey's actually not up right now. I took it on my trip. Traded Garland and Boehm. Both traded for Garland and Boehm. Yeah, like that. Garland's so good. People underestimate how good he is. Should I keep Robin Leonard or try to get a... Oh, sorry. Would have banked the hip check DK if I've got Ekholm over Lindell. Yeah, I had a decent amount of Ekholm last night, but I didn't bank. So once I saw the news that Ellis was out, I remember Ekholm was super good last year, and he plays a bunch of minutes, so I put him in. But, yeah. Give up Zibanejad and Hall and get Brady to Chuck and Stone. Yeah, that's actually a solid trade, Carson. Does your league have hits? Brady's like top 5 in my big fantasy league. All right, I'll jump into this DraftKings, this exciting slate tonight. A lot of news, couple line changes, and some really good spots that I think are going to be overlooked tonight. So in this Washington-Boston game, I'm definitely leaning a lot more on the Boston side. Specifically this top line. Everyone knows how good this top line is. They're just like, they're known as the perfection line, and for a good reason. They're at home tonight, so they're going to be matching up hopefully against the Washington 1 line. Typically this Bergeron, Pastrnak, Marchand line goes against teams' top lines. So I'm assuming the focus tonight for Boston is to shut Ovi down. Ovi and Kuz are just brutal defensively. Like, their Corsi 4, on-ice Corsi 4 percentages are like in the low 40s. And when you're looking for a line that's like mid to upper 50s, and they're in the low 40s. So this Bergeron line is in a dream spot tonight against a brutal Washington team with a brutal goaltender, not much defense. I just think Boston 1 is in such a good smash spot tonight, and they're going to be overlooked because of the Toronto, Edmonton, and Colorado game tonight. So I'm all over Boston 1 tonight. They are by far my favorite line. I just think it's so hard for me to get away from them going against Kuz and Ovi. Washington takes quite a bit of penalties. They give up a bunch of shots. I think Boston 1 is in just such a favorable spot tonight. I am pretty much off Washington 1 tonight. I'm going to have very, very few shares in my DraftKings lineups. I am MMEing tonight, so I'm going to have some just because it's if I'm doing 150 lineups, I can't really get to a line at 0%. But definitely off Washington 1 tonight. Washington 2 is in a fine spot, but this Krejci, DeBrusk, Ritchie line is actually really solid 5-on-5. So it's just a tough matchup against this Boston team. On the defensive side for Washington, you're fine to go Carlson. Boston does take quite a few penalties in comparison to the rest of the league. But like Boston's penalty kill is so strong, and it's been so strong like for the last 3 years. So, I mean, Carlson's probably the only competent defenseman I would go to tonight. I'm not touching Vanacek, but I think if you're going Washington, you're fine to correlate Vanacek in your lineup just because Boston does have really high shot volume, but this is just such a smash spot for Boston tonight, in my opinion. On the defensive side, on the Boston side, though, McAvoy's price has come down. He's off the top power play unit, but I still think you're fine to pair McAvoy with your Boston one stacks because he does skate with them 5-on-5, and that's a lot of what you're looking for. And what I mean by that kind of is that, like, you know, assuming Washington gets 4 penalties tonight, they're shorthanded for about 10 minutes. That means about 7 out of their 20 minutes of Boston 1 is going to be skated on the power play. So majority of the time, you're going to see that 5-on-5 pairing with McAvoy and Bergeron, Marchand, Pastrnak. So you're fine going McAvoy tonight. Grzelcyk, power play 1. Pick him up in your fantasy leagues, guys. It's hard to ignore the power play 1 defenseman on a Boston team with the strongest power play and so many studs up front. Matt Grzelcyk, 3,800. He's going to get a lot of ownership tonight, similar to Sam Girard. But he's just in such a good spot tonight, and it's hard for me to get away from him. Tuukka Rask, I'm actually more off Rask than I thought I was going to be tonight. Boston just limits shots a lot, and Washington doesn't shoot enough for me. So even though Rask is going to be a favorite, he should get the win tonight. I just don't think the shot volume is going to be there to pay off the 8,300 price tag we see on him. And if you're correlating your goalies, like if you're pairing Rask with your Boston one stacks, like you're paying up over 30K. And there's only limited lines that you're able to get him with. So I think you're better off going somewhere else tonight, for goaltenders especially. In this Toronto and Edmonton game, so we have note that Matthews didn't go to morning skate today, but I read that it's usually an indicator that he is playing tonight. So we're going to assume Matthews is in the lineup tonight. That's what we want to see from this Toronto one line that's been steamrolling teams day in and day out. But they are in a pretty tough matchup against this McDavid-Puljujärvi combo that's been really strong 5-on-5. Both lines kind of cross each other out, but definitely more favored on the Matthews-Marner Thornton line for me tonight. Edmonton takes quite a few penalties, and they do struggle on the penalty kill. And they give up the most shots in the league. And, you know, if you're allowing Matthews to shoot 5 or 6 times in a night, you guys all know what's going to happen. So I know he has a wrist injury, and definitely be cautious, but I think Toronto at 17-4 will only play Matthews if he's 100% good to go tonight. I think at 17-4, and especially because they've still been winning with him out, they have no reason to rush him back. So assuming Matthews is 100% tonight, his wrist is fine. Great spot for Toronto 1 tonight. You can leave off Thornton if you want. You know, you guys can get weird with these Toronto stacks, just 2-man Matthews Marner. There's going to be a lot of ownership in this game. There always is. But it's good ownership. So pretty favorable matchup. On the Toronto 2 side, Kerfoot's back with Nylander and Tavares. This was their line last year. 200 minutes of sample last year. They were pretty good 5-on-5. Looks like they're going to be matching up against Edmonton 3, the Kara, Archibald, Ennis line. I'm not sure if Edmonton really wants to do this pairing. But my assumption is it's going to be Edmonton 2 tonight against them, which is kind of a difficult matchup. But I think someone mentioned that Nylander is out tonight. So we will keep that in mind if Nylander is out tonight and how the lineups change. But if you guys are in the Discord, we'll be updating you guys. I know 41 is in here. He's a Leafs fan. He's been updating everyone pretty good. So he's the team news anchor for us. On the defensive side here, Jake Muzzin, always a good play to get the shot and block bonus. Plays a lot of minutes. Morgan Rielly, 5,300. He scored and had an assist. I think Riley's strictly a play with your Toronto one stacks. He's not much of a one-off defenseman just because the peripherals really aren't there for me at all. And then Freddie Anderson tonight, he's fine. Edmonton does shoot the puck quite a bit. But it's just a team that scores a lot, and there's a really high total in this game. So just be careful with Freddie. I know Hotch has 2 shutouts against Edmonton back-to-back, and I get it. But it's Edmonton, it's McDavid, it's Draisaitl, so it's really hard to play a goaltender against them. On the Edmonton side, so James Neal moves up to the top line. He's going to get a ton of ownership tonight at min price, power play 1. really good spot for him tonight. Going to be hard to get away from him as well. He's someone you could one-off, someone that you can mix in with your Boston stacks to kind of get a little bit more contrarian and to drive that ownership down, just kind of get indifferent. Even though the ownership's going to be high, he's definitely going to be paired with McDavid in a lot of lineups tonight. So you're going to have to find a way to get away from that, especially if you're doing cash, but really good spot for him tonight. I think if you guys are looking for a player to stream, I think you're completely fine with picking up James Neal for tonight. Just a good spot. Toronto takes penalties, kind of struggling on the penalty kill. They give up a lot of chances. So I think Neal's a fine play tonight. So little change on line 2. So they went back to the Yamamoto Draisaitl Nuge line. I'm going to talk about today how I think Yamamoto is actually a drop in fantasy right now. He's just not been doing it at all. Hopefully this helps him get a little bit of resurgence, but if that happens, it kind of makes me look bad, so we'll see. But line 2 tonight, in a tough spot, I think. They just haven't been getting it done too much 5-on-5. Nuge has been struggling too. They are pretty pricey tonight. I think I would rather pay down at 16.8 for Edmonton too, but the ownership's going to be a little bit less on Edmonton too tonight, so... defensive side, Darnell Nurse, always a good play at 5,900. Loves to shoot, loves to block, plays so many minutes. He's their go-to guy there in Edmonton. He's not on the first power play unit, but that's fine. He has really good 5-on-5 numbers. He really elevates the play when he's on the ice. I think he's a staple in this Edmonton backend. I think he's a staple in a lot of fantasy teams this year. So I'm on Nurse tonight. I like the price tag under 6K. Tyson Barrie, 6,200. He's really expensive, and he's going to be expensive to play with your Edmonton lines, but I think you're fine if you do a Neal, McDavid, Barrie 3-man, just under the assumption that Edmonton does score 2 or 3 power play goals tonight. Definitely fine to do that. Mike Smith, 7,900. Not a good goaltender. Going to get a lot of volume tonight. Is probably going to let in quite a few goals, so I'm off Mike Smith. I might pair him with some of my Edmonton stacks, but if you guys use Fantasy Cruncher, I would probably set a rule to exclude him from some of your Edmonton stacks. It's just tough to pay 7,900 for Mike Smith in such a bad matchup, and I just think he's not a very good goaltender. So, all right, I'm going to answer some questions, guys. I'm by myself today, so it is a lot of talking, and it's kind of difficult to do, but I'm going to do my best to answer as many questions as I can. But I know some people in here, Dovidas, Aimless, a channel. Some of those guys have really good takes, so definitely listen to them. Oh, the credentials question. All right. 55 of you guys in here, 11 likes. If you guys can hit that like button if you're enjoying the content. I'm going to be doing this every day. It just keeps me motivated, helps us with the algorithm, makes us look a little bit better, helps with our credentials. But drop Hoffman to take Garland off IR. Yeah, you can do that. That's fine. McDavid screwed me over. Yeah, I mean, hard to say that when he has like 40 points, right? So I think stay strong with McDavid, you guys. He's like #1 player in fantasy. So Hoffman going to pop off tonight. Only if you guys drop him, he's going to pop off. Is Leonard a trade now, or should I still hold on to him? I would hold Leonard. You're not going to get any value trading him. When he comes back, he's going to be playing. They need to get Fleury a break. So, which 2 goalies should I have out of Shesterkin, Korpisalo, Mrazek? Shesterkin and Mrazek. Korpisalo is probably not an own. Chikrin or Grzelcyk? Chikrin for me by quite a bit. Ekholm in a 16-team league. Yeah, Jax. I like that. Good diversion past that. I love that. Who should I pick up? Cam Fowler or Erik Karlsson? Points league hits 12-team league. Erik Karlsson for me. Buddy said switch deal to Laine Hall for Brady to Chuck and Stone. Yeah, that's still good, Carson. I still take that. All right, gonna move on. Appreciate you guys answering some of the other people's questions as well. It just kind of takes a little bit off my shoulders. Shout out to Jax. Definitely trust your takes. Majority of you guys have some pretty good takes too. So, all right, St. Louis, Anaheim. So St. Louis was some kind of wonky lines. Sanford, O'Reilly, Kyrou together. Definitely like Kyrou as an expected goals guy, but not so much as a shutdown player. Looks like they're going against this Anaheim 1 line, the Getzlaf, Jones, Comtois line. Comtois has been such a surprise this season. Not sure if we have any Team Canada World Junior fans here, but I'm not sure if you guys remember when he was the captain, he took the penalty shot and missed, and he just got torched online. Like, it was bad. But St. Louis just hasn't been getting it done too much this season. I think if I'm going anywhere tonight, it's going to be the top line. I definitely like the matchup against Getzlaf. Someone that's kind of, taking definitely a stride back this season, someone that I'm not too interested in. He's kind of poor defensively. So if I have any interest in this game, it's going to be St. Louis 1. St. Louis 2 is just not a line I want to be targeting too much. They're going to be going against the Henrique Silverberg line. They've been really solid 5-on-5. It's kind of a tough matchup. They are priced up quite a bit. Don't project very well. Nathan Walker is just not an NHL caliber player at this point in the season, so hard for me to pay for them. This third line here is not bad. They're going against the Zegras, Lundestrom, Ricard Raquel line. And Ricard Raquel is actually one of the top expected goals players in the league. He shoots a ton. Like, teams need to jump on this. Like, Toronto needs to be going to look to trade for... It's like some team needs to get Ricard Raquel on their team, like ASAP. He's just such a good player, and he's just been hidden on this Anaheim 3 line. But they played quite a bit of minutes last game, so definitely have some interest in them, and I'll get to that. Defensive side, you're fine playing Krug. Anaheim doesn't take a lot of penalties, and they actually have a pretty solid penalty kill. And you're basically paying for Krug in hopes that he does get a few power play points. But 5K price tag's fine for him. Anaheim does take 2.7 penalties per game, so they are going to have some opportunity. But the Blues just have been struggling on this power play, like bad. They were one of the top power plays last season. If only they had a 30-goal scorer that ran a top power play unit in Florida on their team. But, might as well toss him on the second power play unit, right? Justin Falk, 4,600. His price has finally come down to where I want to play him again. Did not like him when he was near the 6K range, but 4,600 is a solid price for him. He projects well for us. Shouldn't have too much ownership. The Blues are on the road, so Jordan Binnington tonight. Hopefully he doesn't freak out and start punching everybody. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was pretty funny. But Anaheim just doesn't shoot the puck enough, and St. Louis doesn't really give up a lot of shots. And paying 8,100 for Binnington is kind of hard, but I think you're able to pair him with your St. Louis stacks just because they're not expensive. So you can definitely go to Binnington tonight in your DraftKings lineups. He's definitely a start in fantasy. You can't not start him. On the Anaheim side, so Comtois, Getzlaf, Jones is going against this terrible matchup in the O'Reilly line. I'm off Anaheim 1. They are getting some ownership tonight just because their salary is really low and there's a lot of lines you have to pay up for tonight. So I have some interest in Anaheim 3. But the reason why I don't as much is because they're going to get a ton of ownership tonight. Lundestrom had a hat trick last game. Recency bias is a huge thing in fantasy, especially DraftKings. So just be careful playing your Anaheim lines, like especially if you're pairing them with your McDavid, your Boston lines, or your Matthews lines. Try and get different. Like, you guys can do like Zegras, Raquel, Henrique for like a power play stack. The St. Louis penalty kill has been bad. They've taken a ton of penalties this season. So definitely a power play spot for the Anaheim team here. I think line 2 is actually my favorite line tonight. Shouldn't get too much ownership, and they play quite a bit of minutes, and 2 guys in the top power play. So not a Milano fan at all. You guys can even do Henrique, Silverberg, Raquel stacks, mix some Shattenkirk in there. So on the defensive side, Cam Fowler, he's been great so far this season. Someone that you guys can probably look to stream this week, but with a short leash. I just think Fowler hasn't been a player that's done it too much in his career, and that's what you have to look out for. Like, although he's hot the last 2 weeks, it's like, how is he going to be in 2 months? So keep that in mind. I think Ben Hutton's a fine punt defenseman tonight just for the block bonus. Plays 18 minutes. You're kind of just hoping for 3 blocks and maybe a shot. Gibson at 7K, solid play for me. He's always a good goaltender. St. Louis shoots the puck a lot. And Anaheim gives up quite a few shots. So Gibson, just a volume play. Not necessarily a win play tonight, but the volume's definitely going to be there for him. So all right. Spurgeon a drop or expect him to bounce back? No, you can hold on to him. Power play 1. Comtois has been super hot. Yeah, like way too hot. No, Chris is working today, I think. But he'll be back on Friday. Samsonov, Rask, and Leonard. Who should I trade for and who should I try and give up? So if you're trading for goalies, it's going to be Rask and Leonard. Leonard's a super buy low. 4 wins in a row in fantasy and 5 parlays in a row. Literally, thanks. I love that, Emilio. I think a good play tonight is like Pasternak to score, Bergeron to score, something from that line. Even power play goals. I think they're going to score 1 or 2 power play goals tonight. Dubois or Wheeler for the long run? Wheeler for me. I know DFS today, but Ty Smith or Grzelcyk rest of season. It's hard to say because Grzelcyk has so many injuries, so I'm going to go with Smith for now, but definitely monitor Grzelcyk right now. Sportsnet confirmed Matthews in. All right, good. Is Ehlers a drop candidate in shallow leagues? How shallow, Jesse? So if it's an 8-team league, I think Ehlers is a hold for now. He's really good. Sorry, guys. Trying to get to as many questions as I can. Hoffman or Tarasenko? Oh, Tarasenko for sure. For sure. Yo, do I trade Barzal and Marchand for Panarin? That's really close. Who would you pick up, Thomas? Like, who's available on free agency? So it'd be like Panarin and X. Like, is Garland available? Who's available on your free agency? Really close, though. I think I would keep Marchand and Barzal, though. Is Panarin a buy low? Someone... Yeah, if you can get Panarin for Pietrangelo, that's a good trade. All right, going to move on here. Thirsty. Wait, let's see if there's any quick notes. Nothing major here. Just St. Louis, terrible terrible penalty kill. Lots of penalties. Anaheim power play spot tonight for me. They've been bad in the power play, but giving a team 4 opportunities a game, they're probably going to score. All right. So Minnesota, Vegas. Couple changes here I'm going to note before we get started. It looks like the Pacioretty, Stone, Stevenson lines back together. Thank God. And then Marchessault, Carlson, Smith also back together, and that's what we want to see. Very good value line. From this Minnesota side, so it looks like Minnesota 1 is going to be facing off against Vegas 1. Really tough matchup for them tonight. Vegas is just extremely good at home. Minnesota takes a bunch of penalties too, so not too much I like from this Minnesota side at all. I know this Kaprizov, Rask, Zuccarello line has been hot, but they're going to be facing off against Vegas 2, who are really good offensively. They control the play quite a bit. I just think it's really hard for me to get to too much Minnesota tonight. And for the people in here in season long that are holding Minnesota players, just wait for the better matchups, right, guys? Like, they have Vegas. It's Vegas and Colorado are where you're going to sit your Minnesota players. But that's only 2 of the 6 teams they play against. So I know Fiala might go on a little cold streak here, but then, when they play against like San Jose, you're going to see Fiala score a bunch, and that's what you want to look out for. Defensive side, Spurgeon 3,600. He's a fine play. Vegas had a ton of shot attempts last game, and Minnesota loves to block shots. So all these defensemen tonight are in line for the shot block bonus 100%. Definitely have some interest in them. Cam Talbot, he's going to see a bunch of volume tonight. It's a tough matchup on the road, but 7,100, he's a fine play. Someone you're kind of just hoping for the volume. On this Vegas side, Vegas 1, definitely have some interest. All in the power play 1. Minnesota takes a ton of penalties. They are like top 5 in the league for penalties taken. And that's what you want to see out of a line that has 3 players that correlate on the top power play unit. So definitely give me some Vegas 1 tonight. Vegas 2 in a very good spot against this Kaprizov, Rask, Zuccarello line that has been brutal defensively. This line has not really gotten it done. And I know Chris said, I want to take them once they're the nut stack, but you want to take them when they are the nut stack. And tonight is a very good spot for them tonight. They're really priced down, and you can really get weird with them with some of your other stacks. Like, even if you want to do a Marchand Bergeron 2-man and then stack this full line with Pietrangelo, like, you can do that. They're really cheap tonight. So really like Vegas 2 tonight. Vegas 3 is a fine filler. Kind of a tough matchup against this Hartman, Foligno, Parise line that's actually been really sound 5-on-5. So have some interest in them, but not as much as Vegas 1 and 2 tonight. For me, Theodore and Pietrangelo are priced down for whatever reason. Theodore's in a great spot tonight. Power play 1, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to see very good high danger chances tonight. So definitely give me some Theodore. Definitely give me some Pietrangelo tonight. Marc-Andre Fleury, 8,200. Minnesota shoots quite a bit, so going to have some Fleury tonight. I think 8,200 is a fine price tag for him. All right. Will Samsonov be any good this year? Yeah, like he will, but it's going to be a very bumpy road, Logan. Like you're going to have to wait like probably a few weeks before he gets going. Batherson has to be a sell high. Yep, he is. Absolutely. Barzal and Marchessault for Panarin. I think it's worth it right now because I have Letang on my IR plus, so need to move an extra guy. Dude, if you can trade Barzal and Marchessault for Panarin, that's a steal. Drop Ty Smith to bring back Kuzi. Any objections? No, you can do that. That's fine. Take it easy on my Sharks. They'll keep Fiala without points. Hey, Emilio, you'll be happy about my Sharks take today. Promise. Wahlstrom worth a pickup? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't pick up Wahlstrom. He's hot right now. It is a bit risky with Panarin, but I mean, it's not like Marchessault and Barzal are like in the bottom, like in like the 50 to 100 range, where Panarin's kind of in the 20 to 1 range, 20 to 10. All right. So Arizona, Los Angeles. I have a lot of interest in this game, especially on this Los Angeles side. This top line has been very good 5-on-5 this year and on the power play. All three of them power play 1 correlation. So Garland is available to play tonight, but we don't know what line he's going to be on. Last game he played, it was Kajula, Schmaltz, Garland, and they got worked bad. Kajula is a terrible defensive player. Kessel is a terrible defensive player. So I'm just going to go off of it with the lines we have now. But assuming Garland is in there, though, it's still a favorable matchup. So LA 1, very good spot tonight. Arizona 1 has been awful defensively. The Schmaltz, Kessel, Kajula line is just terrible defensively. And LA 1 should have a lot of opportunity in the offensive zone controlling the play. Arizona does take quite a few penalties, but they do have a good penalty kill. But I know I think Garland is a penalty killer. I'm not sure if anyone can confirm that, but Los Angeles 1, good spot tonight. Pretty favorably priced. Shouldn't garner too much ownership because of the other plays on the slate. They're kind of in the mid-range price where you're going to have trouble stacking them with your Boston stacks, Edmonton stacks, Toronto stacks. But I do think they're in a very favorable spot tonight. So I'm on the LA 1 train tonight. Someone that asked about Dustin Brown, definitely a solid play tonight. Los Angeles 2, no interest. Los Angeles 3, no interest. Not much interest from these depth lines at all. On the defensive side, Chikrin, 6K. He's a fine play. I don't really like that they're on the road tonight, and he's going to be going against this line 1 on LA. It's kind of a hard matchup for him. Antti Ranta, he's fine. LA doesn't shoot the puck a lot, definitely in comparison to last season when they were shooting the puck every time they entered the zone. So just not enough volume there for me. Defensive side for LA, Doughty at is that correct? 4,800. Okay, Doughty at 4,800 is an amazing look tonight, especially against this Arizona team. He plays a ton of minutes. He's in a very good spot tonight. Sean Walker, he's a fine punt defenseman, kind of just hoping for the shot block bonus. Same thing with Mikey Anderson. Jonathan Quick and Cal Peterson are good stream goalies tonight, Thomas. Assuming majority of these goalies are owned in your league, Thomas. But if you can let me know what goalies are available that are expected to play tonight, I think Quick is probably your best option to stream tonight. I'm assuming Fleury's taken. Like Mike Smith's in a bad spot. Anderson's in a bad spot. Rask is definitely taken. So, yeah. So Los Angeles 1 play for me tonight. I like them. They shouldn't get too much ownership tonight. So trade Couture for Pajot. Nope, I keep Couture. I have Draisaitl, Backstrom, and Pasta, so I think I can take the risks. Yep. Yeah, you can. Okay, everyone. Back to work. Good stream, Mike. Everyone hit that like button. Hit that like button, boys. 63 of you guys in here. Any goalie stream tonight, I would need the win. Oh, sorry, I already answered that. Jeff Carter and Kempe. Keep one, both, or drop both. I would drop Carter before Kempe. I like that Kempe's on power play 1. This power play's been getting it done, so. Drop 1. Ryan Strome for Hagee Keller. Ryan Strome for me, especially with Panarin out. Line for Nylander. I think I would still keep Line. Do you know that Garland isn't skating tonight. Sorry, just tuned in. Yeah, I read that Garland is available and is playing tonight. But we don't know what line he's on, Max. Stone for Panarin? I would keep Stone. Just because we don't know anything with Panarin right now. Sorry, guys, if I'm missing your questions. Feel free to ask it again. Just trying to balance all of this. Dropped Kubalik for Jumbo Joe. How crazy? I would say like 4 out of 10. I think you're okay with that. Corpusello or Mrazek? Mrazek for me. Sorelli worth looking at? Not really. I guess he's playing with Stamkos, so he's fine. All right. So, final game of the night, Colorado, San Jose. So, did some digging. It looks like this Evander Kane. So what? Sorry, was it Emilio that was the Sharks fan? I think it was. So it looks like this Kane Couture LeBanc line is really, really good 5-on-5, dating back to 2018. Like, they control the play big time. And they're facing off against this Colorado 1 line who also kind of controls the play. And I think San Jose 1's in a pretty sneaky spot tonight. Definitely give credit to Colorado 1. They are top 3 line in the league by far. But you got to give some credit to the San Jose 1 line that actually worked them last game pretty good. And they've been solid this season as a full line. So I definitely have some interest in San Jose 1 tonight. And I'm kind of surprised saying that. But Cale Makar's out and Bowen Byram's out. Those are their 2 top Corsi 4 percentage defensemen. 2D that really, really impact the play. And they're out tonight. And Girard becomes their number 1 go-to D-man. Same with Tays. So I think San Jose 1's actually in a pretty good spot tonight. And I'm really shocked to say that. But did some digging and I did my homework. And I think, it's a good play for them. But Colorado 1, they're going to be really high owned tonight. They're on the road. But again, just a very favorable matchup against a San Jose team that has Martin Jones in net, who's brutal. Their defense are brutal. But it's just the 5-on-5 matchup against that San Jose top line that's kind of keeping me a little bit away from them. They're probably going to get about 30% ownership, I would say, tonight. But I'm going to come in a little bit under the field there to get more Boston in my lineups because I think Boston's in just such a way better play tonight. Such a better spot. Colorado 2 tonight going against the San Jose depth. You're definitely fine playing them. You can definitely put Kadri part of your McKinnon, Rantanen, and Landeskog stacks. You can definitely do some onslaughts here for Colorado by taking 6 Colorado players against San Jose. But line 2, they project really well for us. They have 2 high-volume shooters in Kadri and Nichushkin, so don't mind them at all. This Colorado 3 line at 9,600, all 3 of them on power play too. San Jose takes a ton of penalties. I think they're in a really good spot against the San Jose depth tonight against the Leonard, Marleau, Donato line. From my knowledge, Marleau and Donato are not above average defensive players tonight. So don't mind Colorado 3 at all tonight as a pay down option. And you can pair them with Devin Tays if you need to. They got all that power play 2 correlation. So definitely like Colorado tonight. Definitely like San Jose tonight. This is a game that you can game stack. You can get weird with. And the ownership's just not going to be there from that San Jose side. Defensive side for San Jose, Erik Karlsson at 4K is fine. He plays a ton of minutes. You're really banking on a few points, but his goal production has been down significantly the last couple of years. So that's definitely something you want to look out for. Don't think Martin Jones is a play for me tonight. It's just such a brutal matchup against Colorado. He was okay last game, but it's just San Jose just gives up way too many shots, and Colorado is just such a good team offensively. So yeah, definitely give me some San Jose. Definitely give me some Colorado tonight. I got to get used to having this big webcam on the stream. Anyways, guys, so I'm going to answer some more questions. Everyone get those hat trick picks in your head. I'll ask for them in just a second. You guys heard my takes, but I'll let you guys know for the new people in here, my favorite line tonight, Boston won by a long shot. They're in just such a good spot for me tonight. So going to have a lot of Boston won. Favorite defenseman tonight is actually Drew Doughty at 4,800. I think he's in a very, very good spot tonight against this Arizona team that's kind of been struggling defensively. So going to get me some Doughty. I think a good paydown option tonight is Grzelcyk. He's going to get some ownership, but good spot, power play 1. I'm going to be on Boston, so I'm going to be on Grzelcyk, just the way it works. And then favorite goaltender tonight is Jonathan Quick at 7,400. I hope it's Peterson starting because he's the better goalie, but definitely like Quick at that price tag tonight. Really helps you get flexible with some of your lineups. All right, guys. So hat trick predictions. Lay it on me, guys. 6 games tonight, some really good looks. I've definitely hyped up some teams. Would love to hear what everyone thinks for their hat tricks tonight. I'm going to try and go a little bit off the board. We did have our first winner. I don't think he's in here, but Devils for Cup had the only winner so far this season with Chris Kreider. What a good pick that was. That was crazy. I was pretty hype in our Discord. And if you guys aren't in the Discord, quick, click the link tree in the description and get in there, guys. All right. Now they're starting to roll in. Let the stream get up to date. Yeah, Matthew, if you're not on the Discord, join the Discord. If Matthews doesn't play, just send me a message and I'll change it for you. The Critic. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a couple guys, eh? Patrick with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins too. Pacioretty. Devils is in here, guys. So if you guys want to get the right pick, just copy what he says. Wow, 3 Nuge picks, guys, already. Kevin Fiala, eh? Tough matchup. Tribe, don't take my pick. Yeah. Pasternak. I would say he's probably the most likely to get a hat trick tonight. Rantanen. Calvin. Is that the first McKinnon? No, 2 McKinnons now. Brad Marchand, a sneaky pick. Get hot on the power play. Marchand can definitely score a hat trick tonight. Raquel, eh? No, Emilio, you can't go McKinnon. That's not fair. You're an Avs fan. An Avs. I think I said Avs. You're a Sharks fan. My bad. Brain's moving too fast right now. A Wolf. First McDavid? That's first McDavid, right? Yep. $41 was Sanford. No way you're not going to Leafs 41. Yo, you guys remember Sanford had a 4-goal game last year? I remember I took him in Draftkings. He was like 0.25% owned. O'Reilly passed a line. One guy. Oh, okay. I got you. Saw your message after. Another Pasternak. Watch Pasternak or RNH get it tonight. Yep. Kopitar. A lot of submissions today, guys. I love it. Another Matthews. I'm a Wings fan, so I can't take anyone. Take Mark Stahl or Glendening. Tough times. I have one of my best friends is a Leafs fan or is a Wings fan, like die hard. So, all right. So who do I was going to go with Pasternak, but we have a couple Pasternak submissions, so I got to go out of the box a little bit here. I'm going to go with Marcia So tonight for the hat trick. I like that matchup for them. All right. Guys, we're just concluding the stream now, but I'll stay on for a little bit to chat. Gotta get my video out tonight. Should I scoop up Krejci? Yeah, you can scoop up Krejci. Depends who you have to drop for him. I got yours, Jax. No worries. Do we know if Talbot's playing? I can look on Twitter right here. I have it up. Let me take a peek. Not sure if we have any news on goalies tonight for them. Yeah, I don't think we know. Yeah, we have no confirmation on it tonight, so Bergeron for Petro and Riley, who wins? It depends on your needs. Like if you need defensemen, like that's just a needs thing. Like if your D are solid and you don't need defensemen, then you can keep Bergeron. I'm still deciding if I should trade Pionk for Dahlin. What's the scoring like in your league, Tribe? Awesome Street, hitting that bell. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Going to be doing this hopefully every day, and I'll definitely let you guys all know when I'm not doing it. If you guys aren't following us on Twitter, sauce us a follow. We're almost at 200 at fantasy_puck. Should be in our link tree. Discord's also there, guys. Get in the Discord. Community's growing. We're over 200 people in our Discord now, so a lot of awesome people. A lot of you guys I'm recognizing from the Discord. Most people in here are in the Discord. And then, guys, if you want access to our sheet, if you want access to all of our projections, our awesome trade analyzer, I know you guys are asking me a lot of trades, but super simple. You just type in the name of the players, and it tells you what side wins based on our projections. This is what we base all of our fantasy stuff off of. There's also a custom one here where you edit the scoring in your league, and then you just type in the players' names, and it'll tell you how which side wins for the rest of the season. So that's all available on our Patreon. This sheet is on our $15 tier. And then our trade analyzer is available on our $8 tier, but you also get it if you're the $15 as well. If you have any questions about it, send me a message on Discord. I'll be sure to answer it to you guys. We'll be giving out this sheet for free a few times this week. We're just kind of getting, how to stop it from copyright and everything. So, do you like Kakinen or Lankinen? Lankinen for me. What's up, Steve? Kadri for O'Reilly. O'Reilly side for me. Point and Zib for Kane. Yeah, I'll take the Kane side. It's close. But this will conclude the stream, guys. Put all your questions in the Discord. We have a lot of members in there that'll help answer. We'll do our best to answer. I'll be in there most of the day today. If you have any questions you guys want to ask me directly, just send me a DM on Discord. I'll be available all day to answer your guys' questions. I'm going to be streaming tomorrow, and new video out tonight, guys. I'm fired up. It's been a week. Took some days off, but definitely motivated to produce some really good content for you guys. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a great day. For those of you playing DFS, win some money tonight. For those of you in your matchups tonight, let's get the wins. Get some wins.